What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today we got another great video for y'all. Today I thought I'd make a quick video on the 5 reasons why we love Amazon. And the reason I want to make this video is because during my consultations I was getting a lot of questions about particular things that people were unfamiliar with, and they were getting a lot of false information online about. So hopefully we can clarify some of those questions. So I'm not going to drag this on. We're not going to drag this on. So we're going to get straight into it. All right, guys. Without further ado, we're going to get straight into it. All right. The first reason why I love Amazon is because of the type of routes they have. You don't need a ELD. Okay. And there are some exemptions. There are some things that if you abide by them, you do not need that ELD. And my whole thing that I preach over here is that we save our money and we keep our hard-earned money in our pockets. We don't just throw our money away and just give it away willy-nilly. Okay, so now we're going to sit here and figure out the definition of who of those that are exempt from using the ELD. Okay, you want to explain that?
All right, so you would want to go to the FMCSA website for this information. We'll have the links down in the description below. But just quickly, it tells you drivers who use short haul and time card exceptions are not required to keep records or use the ELD. So this is where it gets a little confusing as to what qualifies you as a short haul driver. But here's a quick definition to let you know whether or not you qualify. All right, so quickly, just to run over the qualifications of what a short haul driver is. You operate within 150 air mile radius. Air mile radius. That does not mean that you drive 150 miles or less a day. You start and end the day at the same location. You do not drive more than 14 hours, and you are released from work within 12 hours. So, the main thing that is uncertain and unclear to people is the air mile radius and what that means. So an air mile radius, imagine you're in school and you're drawing a circle and you're figuring out the radius of that circle. That means that from the center point of where your business is, you can go within 150 miles air mile radius, which translates into 173-ish land miles. So you would draw a center point and then out from there 173 miles. So that now creates your boundary for where you can drive. You have to stay within that air mile radius, but you could drive 250 miles that day, 300 miles, as long as you follow the other qualifications of starting and ending in the same location, not driving more than 14 hours. Throughout the day, you can drive as many miles as necessary for your trips to be completed. As long as you're able to start and end at that same location and not exceed 14 hours on the road of driving, then you qualify as a short haul driver, which means that you do not need a ELD. In this case, if you're uncertain as to where your boundaries are, we found this website. Once again, we'll link it in the description below, but Cruz will let you know how to utilize this website and use it as a great resource to figure out what your 150 mile air mile radius is.
Exactly. As my wife explained, as you can see right here, 173 mile radius does not exclude you from a lot of work. As you can see, from my center point being Richmond, I can reach out to Maryland, I can reach out to Pennsylvania, I can also go to West Virginia, as well as Raleigh, North Carolina. Now, I want you to consider this. You don't have to have an ELD, but once I start to cross those state lines, I do have to have a paper log, which is still free. Okay? So as long as you log in your hours and log in your miles, you're able to cross those state lines and don't require an ELD, which once again
saves you money.
Exactly. All right, which leads us into number 2. No dispatcher or no broker, because the loads are directly put on the load board and directly shown to you as the carrier. You don't have to worry about a middleman and giving your money away to somebody else that don't even bear the burden of the travel, of the diesel, and of the time away from your family in a truck. Once again, we over here practicing keeping money in our pocket. We already established one expense a month that you don't have to have as long as you follow those rules, which is the ELD. The second reason, like we said, was the dispatcher and the broker. Those 3 expenses alleviate by working with Amazon. And those are great reasons to work with a company when they're not trying to price gouge you for things. They're not trying to take all your money.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And another thing that's great about not having a third party broker or dispatcher is that now you can, as we said in our previous videos, you can customize the loads that you want to take. You can pretty much know these loads like the back of your hand. You're not going to unfamiliar territories. And it's just a little bit safer as well, and gives you peace of mind that you know where you're going because you've been there multiple times before. It's not foreign territory.
Exactly. Which lead us into number 3. Now, I'm gonna make a quick disclaimer before I say number 3. Okay, I have no problems with factoring companies. Okay, but it is a great reason to work with Amazon, knowing the fact that you getting paid directly through the company. Okay, you don't have to have, once again, another person in your pocket taking some of your revenue when you're out here bearing the burden of traveling and transporting these merchandise across the country. Okay, so that's a great reason. Once again, saving money, putting money in your pocket.
Right.
Okay.
All right. So for not having a factoring company, in addition to not having to pay a fee, Amazon offers, once you get your score up and you do well, follow our advice, definitely get you an A. So in addition to not having to pay a factoring company fee, Amazon offers next day payment as well as weekly payments. So you're able to get your money quick and fast for satisfying that load and doing that work. You're not waiting around and you're not paying anyone else to give you an advance, which is pretty much what a factoring company is. So you get your money, you did the work, you can move on with life.
So, which leads us to number 4. Amazon, once again, is dealing with packages, boxes, things that aren't exorbitantly overweight. Okay? You would never run into DOT violations, definitely for those who's running across the scale, knowing that your truck cannot be overweight with the type of merchandise that Amazon put on your truck. Right. So that's a great feeling to know that you're traveling and you're traveling within the regulations of your state laws and regulations or whatever. So
and you've heard plenty of stories of people who not just go over the road, but people who run even local loads where you go to pick up a load and they tell you the weight is one thing and you get there and they either miscalculate it or want to add something else to slip it onto your truck, and now you're overweight. You go over the scale, you're a couple thousand pounds over, and that's a DOT violation. And you know, we're about protecting your authority at all costs. You don't want to put that into someone else's hand and try to make a dollar. You done deadheaded somewhere. And what you're gonna do, refuse the load? No, you probably gonna take that risk, and what happens? You end up going over the scale and being overweight. You will never have to worry about that with Amazon. Their packages, their pallets are not heavy at all. You can have a full truckload and not be overweight.
And that was great. And you explained that perfectly, you know, which leads us into number 5. The number 5 reason why we love Amazon is that it's consistent loads.
Yes.
You never have to worry about, long as you do your research and know your load board within your state, you'll never have a time where there's no loads on the load board. And with Amazon growing every day, building hubs, every day fulfillment and sort centers, every day, even if you don't have one near you, I promise you within the next year or 2, Amazon is building something near you, because it's only a company this company is only growing. It's not failing. It's a Fortune 100 company. It's only growing. So, and hopefully hearing our 5 reasons on why we love Amazon, hopefully that can help you out and definitely answer some of those questions, definitely that I know a lot of my clients had coming in, you know, for those who, you know, don't have the time to necessarily book consultations, which, you know, like I said, you know, I remember we were going a small little rant real quick. This is a small one, you know. We do this because we want everybody out there operating correctly on the road, because if everybody's operating correctly, then we don't have to worry about the state police and certain things coming down on us the way that they come down on the CDL people. Okay? We don't want to make this industry hard for people to get into and make a living for their family. All right? Now, I know there's a lot of gurus out there that's telling y'all to buy their course and telling y'all all about this mentorship. I just want y'all to be careful, because there was a lot of people that I was doing consultations with saying that, you know, they spent the X amount of money, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 on these booklets, to gain little to nothing, you know. And I just want y'all to be careful out there, because once again, it's all about keeping your money, your hard-earned money. So I understand that you want to make an investment, but we need to really pay attention to ROIs, your return on your investment, and what really are you gaining from spending $2,000-$3,000 on a pack of paper,
right? Or a lifetime friendship. However, if you are deciding to listen to YouTubers, I mean, us included, you just want to make sure you do your due diligence. You're going to want to ask yourself a few questions. What are the credentials of the person that's telling you this information? Are these words of wisdom and facts, or are these just inspirational words to kind of sell you a lifestyle? We don't want to just throw our money away, because that's money that we could be putting into growing our business the proper way. A lot of things, honestly, are Googleable. You know, just type it into Google and use the FMCSA website, and you'll find the answers. It takes a little bit more work, but it's definitely worth it in the long run, because you'll have the actual facts instead of someone's opinion or what someone heard or thought. Next, you're going to want to just kind of browse through videos. Are you seeing a lot of failures that will possibly lead you to success? Or are these transparent vlogs kind of just leading you down the wrong path? Are they qualified to really give you success? How successful are they to be offering you some advice? So at the end of it all, you do your due diligence. We are starting businesses. We're not in the business of side hustles. We're not in the business of being a jack of all trades and a master of none. We want to grow our companies so that we could have our names right alongside Amazon. Not just work for Amazon, but we work with Amazon. Remember that. And these are the reasons why we love being partner carriers. We constantly promote Amazon, not because we gain anything from it, but because we know how successful we have become by sticking with it, familiarizing ourselves with our area and the loads and routes that they run. And we just want to pass that information off to you all as well, free of charge. No information needs to be paid for, because if you're doing it right and we're doing it right, there's nowhere to go but up.
Exactly. And like she said, no information need to be paid for. But like I said, I do consultations, because I'm not gonna lie, there's some things that I can't necessarily say online. So in order for us to take time for our truck, you know, just have
you book a
consultation, and then we can explain particular things to you.
Yeah.
That if you, and definitely in your area, if you're not familiar with.
Right.
But that's how far it's going to go. Yeah, I'm sorry, but but that's how far it's going to go. I don't plan on making no booklet or no packet that I have to sell to y'all for $2,000-$3,000. I don't have no plans on charging y'all for a lifetime mentorship. Yeah, guys. So once again, I'm glad y'all stopped by. You know, once again, be careful out there. Do your due diligence and your research. Make them show proof. Remember, over here on this channel, you can see what we're doing over here. We show you our routes. You see our finances. Because two things I want to say. If somebody say they don't want to show your finance on business, you know that's public record. You can look up people tax information, and as well as for those out there who's selling your packets and your your mentorship stuff. Remember, you're liable for the information that you put online. So if people are hoping to become successful based off the information that you give them, and their businesses fail and they decide to blame you, don't think they're not able to take you to court and sue you.
Right. So everyone, just be careful. These are the reasons why we prefer Amazon. But there's so many different routes and paths for logistics. Remember, you're a logistics company. You're not a box truck company. There's so many different routes that you could take and explore. Do your due diligence and research, and we wish you nothing but the best. Great luck out there in the streets.
Peace.